In 1978, a scientist built rats a literal theme park, and it broke the biggest myth about addiction. Back then, the standard experiment looked like this. One rat, alone in a metal box with two water bottles, one plain, one laced with morphine. Almost every time the rat chose the drugged water over and over until it died. Scientists pointed to this and said, "See, drugs hijack the brain. That's just what addiction does." But psychologist Bruce Alexander wasn't so sure. He noticed every one of those rats had one thing in common: total isolation. So he built something new, Rat Park. Same two bottles, same drugged water. But this time the rats had space, toys, and each other. Therefore, the results flipped. Rat Park rats drank almost none of the drugged water, even the ones who'd been isolated and addicted first, then moved in. Given a life worth living, most of them chose it over the drug. But before you rewrite your whole worldview, this isn't the full story. Genetics, brain chemistry, and the substance itself still matter. Some drugs hijack the reward system harder and faster than others. Therefore, the real update isn't environment is everything. It's this. Addiction isn't just a chemical event happening to you. It's a loop, and the loop needs three things to survive. A cue that triggers it, a routine, the actual behavior, and a reward that reinforces it, especially when it's numbing something painful. But here's where most people go wrong trying to break that loop. They fight the craving head-on, grit their teeth, white-knuckle it, rely on willpower alone. And psychologically, that backfires. The more you try to suppress an urge, the louder it gets. It's called the ironic process, and it's been shown again and again in the research. Therefore, willpower alone has one of the worst long-term success rates of any quitting method. So what actually works? Not fighting the loop, replacing it. Keep the cue. Keep something that delivers relief, but swap the routine in the middle. Therapist Judson Brewer studied this with smokers. Instead of resisting the craving, he had them get curious about it. Just notice it, ride it out, watch it peak and fade. Cravings, it turns out, rarely last more than a few minutes if you don't feed them. But changing your own routine only gets you halfway. Remember Rat Park? The environment carries real weight too. Therefore, the strongest recovery approaches combine both. Rebuild the loop and rebuild the park. The people, purpose, and routines that make the addiction less necessary in the first place. You don't out-willpower an addiction. You outlive the cage it grew in.